The most spontaneous thing I did recently was get divorced.
So who is your hero?
Tune into the last episode where I talk about my divorce. Yes, I'm single now.
I feel like I've changed so much.
I take friendship very seriously.
You're over it when you're over it.
I signed up for motorcycle classes.
If you could time travel, where would you go and what would you do?
The other two dogs go to daycare, but he couldn't get with us.
What would I do if I could time travel? I would go back to when my children were little.
I need to go home and be with my husband.
This can slap me in the face.
The traffic levels have picked up so much that we hit over 1 million movements in the last year. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Press Pause with Jouhayna. On today's episode, I have Trish. She is my coach. She has literally saved my life. Tune into the last episode where I talk about my divorce. Yes, I'm single now.
Happy and single.
Yes, exactly. Alhamdulillah. Prayers answered in every sense. Okay, so we're playing a game of Burj Banter, which is Jenga with a twist. Each block has 2 handwritten questions on it, so 108 questions. Mm-hmm. And you go first.
Okay, so I'll just take an easy one, I think.
Oh, you're supposed to do the first. This is the anything below this.
Oh, anything below this.
I didn't know.
Okay, I'll take this one.
Anything below the last completed story. Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Oh, anyone? Is there one?
Oh, good. Oh, one for you as well.
Wow, so generous.
So who is your hero?
My grandma. I love her. She is literally the best. Yeah. She was orphaned at the age of 7 and she lived in an orphanage. She went and she got her education as well. The Muslim community in Africa, they really took such good care of her. And then they educated her. She became a nurse. She married the love of her life. She had my mom and her sister, who are my 2 mothers. I have 3 mothers, my grandma, my mom, and my auntie. And technically all 3 of them are my heroes, but my grandma is like the winner because she's the creator of the hero.
Yeah, that's right. Starts with her. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah.
My hero is my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's my brother. He's gone through a lot. He had a very turbulent beginning to his life. He got into really bad places and did really bad things to himself, and he finally completely broke free of all of that and really turned his life so much around that he's an inspiration, and he's hilarious. Mm-hmm. He's hilarious at the same time. So he's just someone who, once he had his initial children came into his life and that changed his life. That was it then. He was a different man.
Oh, wow.
And they really saved his life. They really brought him out to be the person that he is. But then because of that, and he had that openness, we were able to talk more, and he just got better and better and better and thrived. He's great. He's great.
That's beautiful. Since you gave me a block here. So there's 2 questions. How do you handle criticism? And what decision are you grateful you didn't make?
How do I handle criticism? Depending from whom.
Yeah.
If it's from my closest, it's difficult. It's difficult. If it's from my closest, like my children, my daughters. I don't like to say children anymore because they're not children, but my daughters. It's difficult because it's like, oh, I love you so much. How can you do that? But it's a great thing at the same time. I've recently probably needed to take a step back the moment I hear some kind of daughter-mother reproach of some sort and think it's all good. It's perfectly okay. I mean, I love her anyway. My own work takes me to, well, it doesn't matter what she thinks, it's fine. But it's more than that. It does matter what she thinks. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to see myself the way she sees me in that moment, and I can do something about it. But anyone else, they're allowed to think what they want. They're allowed to say what they want. It's fine. I don't get upset about that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, I feel like I've always, especially in my career from a very young age, I had to be able to handle criticism well. Otherwise, I won't succeed in the line of work I'm in.
Yeah.
In air traffic control, it's known to be one of the most stressful jobs in the world because you can know all the theory, but if you can't apply it in the simulator and then in real life, then that's it.
Completely.
So yeah, so I was always told that I have a very soft voice. And if I took that personally and I was like not able to adapt and make sure that I changed the tone of my voice to be able to command the frequency better, then it wouldn't have worked out. This is just one example of many criticisms that I've received to better myself as a controller. And now I've been doing it for 11 years. So being able to handle the criticism helped me. So if it's constructive and it's coming from a good place, I accept it. If it's not, you will get criticized back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can grab this without pulling down the whole tower.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay, so what does friendship mean to you, and what do you value most in friends?
I think friendship means a lot to me. I have always been, at least my belief is I'm a very loyal friend, and I take it very seriously, because up until my marriage, I never was with anybody until I met my husband. And then I married him and we're together, and that was it. And before that, and during that, and after that, because now we're divorced, my friends I've always treated like gold. Always. Even when it implodes in my face at the end, I still treat them well. So I've always been the kind of friend who shows up for my other friends and is always there. And my testimonial from Sarah, who is my closest friend, she always said, even though she knew me for the duration of my marriage, she always said, she's like, you never made me feel like I come after your husband. You know, when I hung out with her, I was present and I wouldn't leave because I'm like, I need to go home and be with my husband. Like quite a few of my friends had done in the past, which is fine because they were the priority. But I remember feeling, I don't like feeling like a secondary person. So when I got into my marriage, I made the decision, I'm not going to make my friends feel that way, and I'll always make them feel like they're in par. And thank God I did that, because the husband didn't last and the friendship did.
Yeah.
So I take friendship very seriously, and I am also the kind of friend that'll tell you the things you don't want to hear. So you have to be a strong person to be my friend. Yeah. What about you?
Well, over the course of my life, I've changed a lot. Probably some of the biggest changes I've ever gone through have been in the last 2 years. So I find that I know a lot of people and I enjoy a lot of people's company, but friends is a different term for me. It's, I don't know any longer. I don't feel like I need many friends like I used to. It's not that I don't love people and I don't like being around people, but the concept of friendship and friends is quite interesting to me now, because I don't feel the need to share certain things. And I don't know, it's an interesting question for me, actually. I just feel like I know a lot of people. I'm in touch with a lot of people. I'll drop a few messages every now and then, but I don't have the want or the need to go off and see the same people in certain situations. I guess really my daughters are very, very much like friends. We've not really got the classical mother-daughter relationship, and a few spotted around that area, geographically and where they live. I would call my friends, but I just don't. I feel like I've changed so much that I don't have anything in common with people that I've been in friendships with before. Yeah. And
you've outgrown.
Yeah, it doesn't resonate with me. And it doesn't mean I don't love them and I don't think well of them. I just don't need to spend time with them. And I really love my own company, and I love working with my clients, and I love being with my family. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I don't miss anything. I'm not wishing I had anything more than I have. I'm very, very, very happy and peaceful with what I have. So, yeah.
And you mentioned 2 years. Your granddaughter's 2 years. So could that be she's your new bestie?
Oh, she's definitely my new bestie. No, she's definitely, I think that's something I'm absolutely dying to build, that friendship that comes along with things. It's more the fact that my marriage broke down suddenly. I mean, it wasn't suddenly, just as we've mentioned in a previous episode, that, there are things that come along that you tend to turn a blind eye to. But when it finally crashed, I crashed with it. And it was the best thing that could ever have happened to me. I would never have thought that the worst thing that ever happened turned out to be the best thing. So I'm absolutely delighted that it did, but it really did. And along with that, I changed so much. I don't know how to explain it other than it's an inside thing. What the things I used to like, I don't. The things I used to talk about, I don't any longer. The things that used to interest me don't interest me anymore. in a different place.
Yeah. And I also feel like specifically when you are in a marriage or in a really committed relationship with somebody, you vibe off them. So your likes become their likes. At least for me, I'm morphed in. I signed up for motorcycle classes.
Well, I certainly, I certainly let a lot of things go. And my life became very quiet and quite boring. I didn't go out much or do anything or find any enjoyment in anything. It just became not healthy. And, I'm really glad that things changed suddenly and I was able to just see a different way of living.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm grateful that you were able to have that as well and, continue to grow and blossom as a human being.
And to see yourself so drastically different before, and then there's a line in the sand, and then after. The before and after are worlds apart.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolute worlds apart. So, of course, things have to go with that. And, I have people I've been friends with in the UAE for the 18 years that I've been in the UAE, and it's nice to say hi, but I don't share the same things. I don't need to share the same things. It's not a judgment against them. It's not because they're not good people. It's not because they've done anything wrong. It's just that I don't feel it. So I'm not going to force it if it's not real.
Exactly. And I feel like it's internalized contentment, which a lot of other people may not be familiar with, but you're good. So that's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. So there's no looking any further. Yeah. And what is the most spontaneous thing you've done lately?
Oh, you want to answer too? Okay. I'm just going to bring him up here.
Okay.
The other two dogs go to daycare, but he really got with us. He's the best boy. So he's lasted through my entire 11-year career in air traffic. Oh, my marriage.
He loves you so much. Look at that face.
Look at him. This is Peanut. The most spontaneous thing I did recently was get divorced. Because from the day that I found out that he was cheating on me until the day I got divorced was 17 days flat. And my father, alhamdulillah, he really showed up for me, which was very healing for me as well with everything that we had gone through in our relationship. He made sure it got done and done before my 30th birthday. So I can officially say I left that man in my 20s. So it was a very spontaneous thing in a sense of how rapidly fast it happened. Because even you were like, that was fast. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, never been so happy to be a speedy girl in my life. Yeah.
Completely.
What about you?
Probably decided to split my time more in France where I'm set based with my family and come back to Dubai regularly for work and things like that. But to be there more, that was a big move.
It's worth it for your darling girl.
I know.
She's so cute.
Oh, I know. It's fantastic. And I like being someone different there and, speaking the language and living a different life. And I love that. And then I come back to Dubai and it's another life. It's great.
Yeah,
great.
Exactly. It's like you literally get to be two different people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. And all I need to do is please myself. So it's very, very healthy, very nice.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so that goes back on the top.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I think the first time I've played Jenga with him on my lap. So this is a new art. Do we approve of this question? Okay.
That's a yes.
Okay, so 2 questions. I'll let you choose since you're the guest. In what areas in your life do you have a hard time telling the truth? Oh, this is a good one for you, I feel. And what does success mean to you and how do you measure it in your life?
Okay, so telling the truth. It's an interesting thing. It's either there's a difference between not telling the truth and not saying anything. Because when I'm with clients, it's not really necessary for me to tell them anything too much about myself, I guess the truth may not be the truth. That's the thing. So what I'm thinking in the moment may well feel like the truth. And then if I question it and I take some time, it's not my truth. So what's the truth, I guess in a way, I guess I can feel uncomfortable telling someone if I'm not happy with the way I feel about them. Because then I don't want to jump the gun and say something that's actually not true for me if I take some time to look at it, I don't ever really want to say what I think of someone. And even if I think that's the truth, it's just not the truth. What I think of you is not the truth. It's just my opinion in that moment, as we said another time. So it's a tricky one. What is truth? But my truth is what makes me feel good, what makes me feel peaceful. So I guess sometimes if we look at it that way, it's sometimes difficult for me to have boundaries.
Okay.
And say, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to spend time on my own. And the truth is, I really want to spend time on my own, but I'll say, yes, let's go and do that.
Oh, yeah. I relate to that a lot.
Yeah.
I tend to do that, but I've been more, almost more selfish for the first time post-divorce because I'm just like, I don't want to do that at home.
Yeah, that's right. You really learn to protect your own peace.
Exactly.
But the point also is, you may love it if you go.
Exactly.
So you don't know really if it's the truth that you don't want to go. You just don't feel like you've got the energy. But if you go, you may love it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
You may be proven wrong anyway. But this concept of truth is very interesting. I know that my truth is what makes me feel great. I'm doing what's right for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for me it would have been the same thing. I was in denial for a long time about being unhappy in my marriage. Like I think from the time I started to really feel unhappy until we got divorced was within a span of a few months. So again, I'm a woman of action. I wasn't the kind of person to just sit around and let it be. And when I saw the biggest red flag smack me in the face, I was like, we're awake. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. And to your point, when I was in an unhealthy marriage, I wouldn't tell the truth of a particular thing because I was too worried about what I would lose. But actually, it would have been a good thing I had lost it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not actually a loss.
Yeah, it's never a loss. There's another concept of loss. There's no such thing. It's just, this is better for you. This is now something else that you're going to, work on. But had I said the absolute truth in the beginning, I may have saved myself quite almost a decade of struggle.
Oh, wow. The decade? Wow. That's intense.
Yeah. But it would have been the end because my truth was nothing like his, it would have been the end. So because I wasn't prepared for that, I just didn't speak it.
Yeah, exactly. It's until you're ready.
Yeah. You've got to be ready. And that's another thing. Your readiness is yours. It's no one else's. It's not society's. It's not, you should be over it by now.
Yeah.
What's that? You're over it when you're over it. You decide when you decide. You make the move when you are ready. Exactly. So, don't listen to anyone else. Stay out of their business.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, that was easier than expected.
Well done.
My lucky charm, buddy. Oh, wait. I think didn't I take that one? This is yours.
Oh, is it?
There you go.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh, what would you do if you won the lottery? Or if you could time travel, where would you go and what would you do?
If I could time travel, I would redo the first date I ever had with my husband and then leave it at that. I'd be like, all right, let's save 4 years. This love story that ended, because we had such a nice first date. So that's what I would do. I would go back to that and just really enjoy that day that we spent together and then be like, deuces, because that was my MO. So I would enjoy my time and enjoy the company and then tell myself it's never going to work out with whoever it is and self-sabotage and then just never speak to them again. And then with him, I was working with my hypnotherapist. And again, like as Sarah called her, she was like an anti-sympathizer in a way of, come on, give him a shot. He seems nice. And I was like, fine. So she really helped me not self-sabotage. And that's what it morphed into. So I would time travel to, I think, the first year and a half of us being together, because that was my favorite part.
Yeah. And on that, I would say that as much as she encouraged you to give it a shot, if that hadn't already been something that you agreed to internally, you wouldn't have taken that advice.
That is true.
It really wouldn't have made a difference. You would have said, hell no. But you were already ready to take that step of, that leap of faith and give it a shot.
Yeah. And I'm proud of myself for it because I really gave myself I gave everything in a sense of, and yes, I know it's true, because I never allowed myself to be that open and give my love to anybody in that way before.
Yeah, so it's wonderful. I mean, it cracked you open, really.
It brought out a beautiful side to me, which I would
That's why nothing is regrettable.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing. We learn so much from our experiences. That's what it's all about. What would I do if I could time travel? I would go back to when my children were little and just enjoy it all over again.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You have the opportunity to do that now with your children's children.
Totally. But, you know, I look at my daughter. She's such an incredible mother. She really is an incredible mother. And because of it, Billy's got my granddaughter's got amazing vocabulary and conversation, and she just understands everything, and she's so good at everything and you know, very clever. And I just know that I was a busy working mum with 2 kids. And sometimes it would be, play amongst yourselves, I've got stuff to do, when really just giving them half an hour of your time when you get home from work to sit on the floor and talk and play and laugh and connect. I would do that again at a blink of an eye.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, we're reaching a risk.
I'm a risky girl. Okay. Describe a light bulb moment where you fully recognize how a past moment shaped you.
Okay, this can slap me in the face. So in my in the work that I did once my marriage broke down, and I also divorced very quickly, not as quickly as yours because the system isn't quite as efficient as that in Australia, but it was 3 months, which was lucky. August, September, October, 2 months. It was 2 months.
Okay.
I realized through the work that I was doing on myself, and it was huge. It was in a meditative state. I was doing my own work. I closed my eyes, as you would well know, and I let my mind give me all of these images. And oh my God, it blew my mind that what I had believed about my ex-husband, that this belief system, right, we talk about so often, the belief I had, which was way buried under other things, I would never have thought it, was I need to make him happy. And when I meditated on that and saw the effect of that belief on me and what I did when I believed that I needed to make him happy, how I cooked and cleaned and stayed up and said yes when I meant no and no when I meant yes, and saw people I didn't like and went to places I didn't want to go to and put up with stuff that was going on in the house all the time. All of that was on the surface level, but actually what was underneath it was my teenage self so desperately trying to make my father happy.
Oh, wow.
And I saw myself in an image in this meditative state of me, a grown woman, holding my 16-year-old self in a full body hold. And she was in a coma from exhaustion.
Oh, wow.
A coma from having done every single possible thing she could to keep her father happy, to make him happy. So I knew right there and then that my ex-husband was just a result of what I'd gone through as a child.
Wow.
So he became my best friend in my mind because he was bringing all these things to the surface for me, which I couldn't have done on my own. So the more I needed to work on him to ease the pain, the more it took me to the source, which was amazing.
Wow.
It was a copy paste.
Yeah. For me, the light bulb moment that would have been sort of a similar answer to our last question, where, you know, I was a very different person before I met my husband. And, you know, I still am very career oriented and, you know, somebody who strives for so much in life. And I allowed my career to define me for such a long time. And then when I met him, he forced me to press pause and slow down and just, you know, if you're tired, you don't have to do X, Y, Z, you know, and all these things. And then also the way that I opened up to him and allowed myself to be like, to give the love unconditionally in all 5 love languages. I'm not the kind of person who would be like, okay, your love language is quality time, that's all you get. No, all 5 times 5, you know. And then after everything, like, you know, blew up, we ended up divorced and everything. The light bulb moment I had was that I wasn't even mad about it. I was sad to lose what I had, but I was sad to lose the version of myself that I became with him.
Totally. Oh, it's beautiful. We grieve that person we were, the version we were.
Exactly. You know, like I'm not the kind of person who, like, I don't mind a hello and a goodbye hug. So I actually even tell people, I'm like, I'm a hugger and I'll give a hello hug. But if it's, you know, a random pat on the shoulder or whatever, I'm not that kind of way. But with him, I was, which now that part of me, I'm just like, oh, I don't feel comfortable to do that with anybody else. So maybe in the future, if I do end up with someone else, that would be reignited. But it was also me, the light bulb moment was recognizing I miss me, the me I was with him.
Yes.
You know?
That's part of the grief process.
To allow myself to be that vulnerable and that much in my feminine energy, even though I was the breadwinner, I was so in my feminine energy where I allowed myself to be soft, whereas I'm always hard, like, you know, tough Joe going to work, getting her job done. Pilots around.
Yeah.
And with him, I would just melt.
Yeah.
So that was
and receive.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so that was a light bulb moment for me that it's not him, it's me. I'm sad of losing that version of me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. Oops. Peanut. What do we do here?
Oh, he'll just knock the whole thing.
Don't move. What role does curiosity play in your life, and how do you satisfy your intellectual curiosity? And what makes you feel most alive, and how often do you experience it?
Which one do you want to answer?
I will answer the how. What makes you feel most alive, and how often do you experience it? Oh, gosh. Well, there are several things, but the first thing that comes to mind is when I work with a client, and it's so profoundly moving that it for me, things have to be very deep. They have to be at a very deep soul level for me to feel nourishment. It has to go like that. It's not
no surface level.
Because even if I use the other example that I have of playing with my granddaughter, that's not superficial. If I'm jumping on the trampoline, or if I'm playing with her, or swinging, or swimming, or walking, or whatever, that's deep for me because the connection is so powerful. And we look at each other in the eyes. I mean, she just looks at me in the eye, and we don't say anything, and she just goes,
yeah, you know? It's everything.
It's everything. So, you know, I feel alive when I'm with my clients working genuinely. I mean, I'm not just saying that. It's really a big part of my life. And when I'm connecting, I don't like small talk. I don't do small talk. I don't like going to places where I know I'm going to just have to say the same thing over and over. And it might be a 3-minute conversation. I can't do it. It's exhausting. So anything that has depth.
Yeah. That's why even on the show, I share as much as I share because I can't do this surface level. Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
What's your...
I love that. I love to watch it in other people, and I think, wow, that's so nice to be that chatty and everything. I'm not like that. I can't do that. And it's okay. I like myself like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Sarah's actually very much like that. She's like, we go deep or nothing at all. And I'm like,
yeah.
And that's what built a really beautiful friendship as well. For me, what makes me feel most alive, I have much of this on the show because it's come up a few times, but I love doing ice baths because it's really like putting my body through such a shock for then later to make my mind feel at ease.
Okay.
You know, so I just really enjoy that mental strength that I build in that time period. And I've realized it's made me more resilient in other aspects. So with the line of work I'm in with air traffic control, the traffic levels have picked up so much that we hit over 1 million movements in the last year.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And guess who was working?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And of course, it's with shift work and we have breaks in between, but it's exhausting. Like, you know? So I just, there are many moments while you're working and you're under such high stress and, you know, there's that time where you're like, I want to run, like your fight or flight kicks in. And it's a natural reaction for anyone.
Yeah.
I'm just brave enough to admit it.
Yeah.
And with the ice baths, because I force myself, you are staying till the minute is done, you're staying till the timer is out. That's exactly what it's like at work. So that's
fantastic. Yeah.
My mental resilience has increased. So I feel most alive when I'm pushing myself to a limit. I don't have a pain tolerance, but in such as a mental game, yeah.
Fantastic. Great.
Okay, you need to go now because you're...
Oh, it's so wobbly.
Oh. Danger.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 questions. Share a time you fought for yourself, or have you ever had a nickname? What is it and what does it mean to you?
When I fought for myself, yeah, absolutely. Leaving a marriage when, you know, my ex had absolutely no intention of it being over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really had to fight for myself. I mean, fighting is I definitely got into fighter mode, that's for sure. I wasn't having it. And, you know, I let myself just experience and live all the emotions that came up because we're human, you know. But the thing is, if I hadn't have, I don't know if I would have emotionally survived much longer. It was really, really so bad for me. So I really had to make that decision and go.
And stick to it.
And stick to it. And no matter what was said or what was trying to be said or what was, you know, being promised or whatever came up, it was just like, no. And that was how I fought for myself.
Yeah, exactly. And I to be honest, I relate to the story as well. I really had to go against my heart when I made the decision to get a divorce, because it wasn't about what will people say or whatever. It was just like, I love him so much and he's hurt me so deeply and disrespected me so badly that I have to respect myself enough to walk away.
Yeah.
Because it'll just get worse.
Yeah, exactly. And how can you do that to yourself?
Exactly.
It's really head over heart.
So it was actually an internal fight, literally a big internal fight for me to even make the decision of I want a divorce.
Yeah.
And then tell him that. Even telling him that, I was so sad and worried and anxious. There were so many negative emotions I was experiencing, but even me and telling him
Are they
that
negative though? You know, that's the interesting thing. We call them negative, but they're difficult, but they're not negative. They're a part of the spectrum and they belong there for all the other reasons, because after they've passed, which they do, there's relief and there's joy and there's growth. And you know, so they're not, I don't think they're always negative. I just think they're heavy. They're hard, they're hard to manage.
growing pains. Exactly.
Pregnant childbirth's not negative, but it hurts like hell.
Exactly. So that's what it felt like. It was just me fighting within myself and choosing what's right for me and using my head instead of my heart. So that sucked, but here we are. Okay. Oh my God. Placing it back on top is so hard.
It is. Oh, okay. Not easy. Oh, it's twisting and turning. Maybe it would come this way. Oh, it's twisting and turning now.
Maybe something from the bottom. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. What is an accomplishment you don't talk about enough? Or would you rather have regrets about actions or inactions?
An accomplishment I don't talk about much is learning to speak French.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I never really talk about it. It doesn't come to mind, actually, but it is an accomplishment. I was 25 when I went to France. Didn't speak a word of French and got married, had kids and had full-time jobs and, you know, all that sort of thing, and did it all in French. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was, I remember very clearly saying to my then husband, I'm never going to learn this damn language and my personality's gone, my sense of humor's gone, I have no idea who I'll be, no one understands me, I don't know how to do anything, I'm not having any fun, it's awful. And he spoke perfect English, which is why I didn't need to speak French with him.
Oh, okay.
And he just looked at me and said, aren't you intelligent enough to learn French? And I thought, right, game on.
Yeah.
So the next day I strutted off to the local bookshop, which is called 𝐼𝐸𝐻𝐫𝐸, and said, I walked in and I sort of like like this, and the woman went down that way. So I got to learn French in 3 months, and I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I really did.
That's so amazing.
I did all the exercises, I did all the homework, I really did it over and over, and then I had him to check with me, you know, the evenings, how do I say this, how do I say that, and then I'd try it everywhere I went, and then I got jobs, and
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I've loved getting to know you, like, you know, because obviously when we have our sessions, it's me, which in my life is so weird to even do that. But with you, I let that out.
Yeah.
So it's just been really nice to get to know you. And for me, the accomplishment I don't talk about enough, I've chosen to not talk about it enough anymore, is how much I've achieved in the world of aviation. I feel I can achieve so much more given the opportunity. I was 19 when I got recruited. I work in an area control center in Abu Dhabi. I was 19 when I got in, 21 when I validated. This job enabled me to retire my mother, educate my 2 little sisters, buy this house.
Amazing.
Have a sugar husband by accident where I was the sugar. And then be able to provide for me, for him, for my 3 dogs. My dogs have a beautiful little dog house outside. Why? Because I'm allergic, not because I'm bougie, but a little bit of both. In terms of my career there, when I became a controller, I was like, okay, this isn't enough. What more can I do? I got my bachelor's degree in air transport management, which allows me to run an airline, airport, or an air traffic unit.
Fantastic.
Am I doing that? No.
One day,
for the opportunity to present itself.
Hint, hint.
I've updated my CV multiple times. And then when I reached, I think, the 4-year mark after I graduated, I said, this is not enough. What else can I do? What am I eligible for? I knocked on the door. What am I getting? Instructor. Oh, we'll see. Maybe. I'm like, I want it. Give it to me. Even if you think I'm not going to be any good, who cares? Give it to me. It's my right. I got instructor, and now I have, mashallah, alhamdulillah, and it's with a lot of hard work, a 95% success rate with my students in a line of work where the fail rate is usually that same amount.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Because I push and I care and I treat my students literally like they're my children.
Yeah. Amazing.
I will fight for you. And I do fight for them. And then after I've done 4 to 5 years of that now, I was like, okay, what's next? I want supervisor, give me examiner. I'm ready to be able to assess if people are working at the right capacity where I work. So I got an examiner last year, and I'm still like, I'm thirsty. Give me supervisor.
Fantastic.
Give it to me. And I keep knocking on that door. So we'll see where else that takes me. And I've chosen not to speak about it as much unless it's addressed, because I made my entire identity aviation. And that's why I actually shut down my air traffic control page, because unless people were interviewing me for being a senior officer, they were just not really interested. And I was like, I have so much more than that. I draw, I do public speaking. I have so much more to me than senior air traffic control officer.
Yeah, totally.
So much more than that. Totally. So that's why I chose to divorce my husband, and I'm still doing air traffic control, but that identity of aviator, I've made the decision to not allow that to be the full definition of Jouhayna.
Totally.
So much more to her.
Yeah.
So I don't talk about it enough, but that's a selective decision. I talk about it if I'm asked to, because I love to teach about it. Like if I go to a school to educate the youth about a job that's quite unknown, I love it. I will do it. I even created a YouTube channel to educate people about aviation.
Fantastic.
I haven't updated it in a while, but it's me choosing to be selective with that and showing that there's more to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic.
Exactly. Like I like doing makeup and I'm good at it. Like today, this is look at the swing. Yes, swing. It's flying away. Right? So I just feel like I made the decision to do that, but we'll see where that journey takes me. And it was not an easy one. It was really I've been on TV shows. I've done jewelry ads. I've done what else have I done? I've been in Vogue Arabia because of being an air traffic controller. And I was like, I'm not going to allow that to be
just who you are. Yeah.
So for me to cut that out, people were telling me, they're like, you're crazy. I'm like, yes, I am.
Yes. That's another part of my identity.
Exactly. To cancel the account that had more followers and start from scratch as well. Yeah, people were like, you're nuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I'm basically.
Why not?
Yes, I'm a pecan. Delicious.
Fantastic.
So yes, but thank you so much for sharing. I really loved getting to know you. I wish the tower lasted longer because there's so much to you.
Thank you. It was so much fun. I loved it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this experience with you and getting to know you more. And for everybody tuning in, Trish is amazing. Okay. She saved my life in the best way, even though I did all the work she says.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You really did.
It was really hard.
You're an inspiration. I loved working with you.
Teach you?
You taught me so much.
Really?
Yeah.
What did I teach you?
Oh, you taught me so much. You taught me resilience, clarity, what it's like to, you reminded me what it's like to start at the beginning where you don't know anything yet about how you can help this mind to help you. And you showed me that was a very easy process for you.
Oh. I'm proud of myself. I'm shy. I didn't cry the whole 2 hours, and this is what would make me like go. Okay, we cut now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and Press Pause family, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna leave Trisha's email in the comments, but in the description below, so you can reach out to her. Because honestly, when people ask why I'm glowing, it's her and Dr. Hasia.
Thank you. I don't take credit for it, but thank you anyway.
You're welcome.